Welcome to this tutorial on reading digital and analog inputs. Reading from inputs is one of the main ways that your Raspberry Pi can become aware of the environment it's in. There are two types of input you can read, digital and analog. Digital inputs have two possible levels, high and low voltage, such as the input from a button. Analog inputs, meanwhile, fall on a spectrum. For example, the amount of light being detected by a light sensor. Analog inputs therefore need to be sampled in a conversion process called analog to digital conversion. This eventually produces an integer value between 0 and 1023, which you can use in your code. We looked a lot at reading from a digital input in the last video where we were reading from a button press. Now let's look at reading from an analog input using a light sensor. Firstly, connect the light sensor to port A0 on the board. Note the A stands for analog. We've got some code here which is going to print out the value being read by the light sensor. Again, we've imported various elements of the GrovePi libraries and created a new instance of the GrovePi class. Here I've set the pin mode of analog pin 0 to input. This is important so that GrovePi knows that we're going to be taking input from this and not output. Inside this while true statement, which means it's going to run continuously, we're simply going to do an analog read of analog pin 0, returning an integer value. If I now type system.out.println and print that value, followed by building and compiling the code, once you've successfully compiled it, executing the code, you'll see various values appear on the terminal. This is the reading from the light sensor. As I cover up the light sensor, note the value gets smaller, and as it gets lighter, larger. So, after learning about reading from digital inputs in the last video, hopefully this video about reading from analog inputs now means you're up to speed on both types of input to the Raspberry Pi. Thanks for watching.